Every cheap property is asking you a question. Is this land undervalued? Or does the market know something you have not discovered yet? A huge parcel, a beautiful view, a low price, a listing that makes the future feel obvious. You imagine cabins, gardens, trails, a retreat, a second base, a place that everyone else somehow missed. But cheap land has a secret. The purchase price is only the first price. Every cheap property is asking you a question. Is this land undervalued? Or does the market know something you have not discovered yet? A huge parcel, a beautiful view, a low price, a listing that makes the future feel obvious. You imagine cabins, gardens, trails, a retreat, a second base, a place that everyone else somehow missed. But cheap land has a secret. The purchase price is only the first price. The real cost may come later. In the road you have to build, the well you have to drill, the title problem you have to solve, the zoning rule you did not understand, the utility line that never arrives, the access dispute with a neighbor, the soil that does not drain, the wet season you never saw, the dry season you underestimated, the local labor you cannot find, the guests who do not want to travel that far. That is why cheap land is usually cheap for a reason. Sometimes the reason is harmless. Bad marketing, an impatient seller, a neglected property, a use case the market has not imagined, a location that is early but improving, a parcel that is not useful for commodity farming but could be useful for retreat hospitality. Those are the discounts worth studying. But many discounts are not opportunities. They are warnings. No legal access, weak title, no water, bad zoning, no demand, impossible operations, political risk, environmental restrictions, security issues. A beautiful property can still be a bad asset if it has no path. A path to access, a path to water, a path to legal use, a path to hosting people, a path to food systems, a path to operation, a path to eventual exit. If the land has no path, the low price does not save it. It may only compensate you for accepting a problem you do not yet understand. This is where many land buyers make the same mistake. They compare properties by price and size. But land should be compared by usable potential. A smaller property with legal access, water, buildability, and demand may be more valuable than a much larger property with none of those things. A beautiful remote parcel may be worthless for hospitality if guests cannot comfortably reach it. A cheap coastal parcel may be dangerous if coastal rules prevent development. A fertile farm may not work as a retreat if the surrounding area has no appeal. A stunning view may not matter if every road improvement requires a legal battle. Land value is not acreage. It is permission plus usefulness plus demand. And every missing piece becomes a cost. Some costs are financial. Roads, wells, power, drainage, fencing, permits, legal work, staff housing, security, insurance. Some costs are operational. Complexity, distance, maintenance, management, seasonality, local relationships. Some costs are psychological. Delay, uncertainty, conflict, regret. The cheapest land can become the most expensive education you ever buy. That does not mean avoid discounts. It means respect them. A discount is a question. Why is the market pricing this land this way? What does the seller know? What does the local market know? What does the land hide in the dry season? What does it hide in the wet season? What does the title hide? What does the road hide? What does the law hide? Only after those questions are answered can cheap become interesting. Because the best land opportunities are not cheap because they are bad. They're cheap because the market is evaluating them through the wrong lens. That's the opportunity. But the wrong lens can belong to you too. The best land investors are not the ones who find the lowest price. They are the ones who understand the reason behind the price. A bargain is not a number. It's a mispriced truth you've actually understood. This is where the Base 2 scorecard matters. Before the dream, the scorecard asks 10 questions. Title: can the land be securely owned, used, transferred, and improved? Access: can people, materials, guests, staff, and emergency services actually reach it? Water: what is the source, storage, treatment, distribution, and backup plan? Buildability: where can structures, roads, utilities, gardens, and gathering spaces realistically go? Demand: why would people want to visit, stay, return, or belong there? Operations: can the site be managed simply without creating a fragile machine? Legal use: can the intended use actually happen under local rules? Low capex activation: what can prove demand before heavy development? Community: who are the people this place is for, and how will trust form before stress? Exit logic: who might value the asset later, and why would it be more useful than when it started? Base 2 doesn't start with the dream. It starts with the scorecard. Cheap land is only interesting after it survives the scorecard. If title, access, water, legality, demand, or operations fail, the discount was not an opportunity. It was a warning label.